Good morning. I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Natera. So, you know our company.
Yes,
I
Nasi.
so first of all, I would really like to know what is your general opinion about our brand?
Mm. Well, I think that Nasi is a really interesting company that tries to develop new technology whilst trying to improve its interface to improve the experience that the user has.
I really like to hear that from you. I can see you know our company. So, as you know, we make video games and circuit design. I really like to know which topic do you prefer?
Well, as you can see in my curriculum, while I did graduate with mechatronics and I do know how to develop circuits, I find myself more inclined to say that I want to develop video games.
So, also I would like to know, as you mentioned, you like more video games. Are you a regular gamer or have you programmed a video game before?
Well, the two of them are yes. Um, I actually played when I was younger. With more of a preference with RPG and puzzle games. And with the second question, I actually work at the indie developer, starting as a quality assessment or QA, and slowly rose up to lead programmer in some projects.
So you mentioned you like puzzle and RPG video games when you were younger. So when you were the lead programmer, did you develop those genres?
Well, when I had the creative freedom to do so, I actually tried to move them in that direction. But when I did not have that freedom, I actually worked well in some other genres, like action game, even including visual novels, like.
Oh, I like to hear that. So I would really like to know more about your previous experience. Can you send me your previous work so I can check them in the week?
Well, of course. If you excuse me for a second,
Great, I
please.
got them. So, what did you like the most of your position when you were the lead programmer?
Well, I had to say that working as it was a small indie team, I think that we had a close space where we could actually see eye to eye in some ideas, and being the developer, I could take those ideas and push them in the right direction, or even try to refine them in a good way, so as to not to discard them, but to repurpose them, so to speak.
Great. In the other hand, I would really like to know what were the difficulties you had when you were in the leading position. What do you think is the hardest part of your job?
Well, um, adding to the fact that it was a small team, I think that sometimes the ideas could be a little bit too small size or that too ambitious. Sometimes the newer employees try to do something too big for them, and it sometimes collided with the main direction that I tried to push. And so it's that aspect of solving the several problems while I did them is not something so enjoyable.
Yes, I know. I know. Not everything is. It's okay when we are working, but it's okay. It's okay. So, why do you think you will be a good match for this position?
Well, I think that me being so young here, not to sound so as I am 15, of course, but I think that getting some new blood into this company will actually help with developing new IPs or and refreshing old ones to give them a new twist to try to get with newer audience.
Okay. Why did you choose us? Why did you choose Nasi? I mean, I know you know our brand, but I really like to know why.
Um, I actually followed the company while I was younger, but and not so I could follow it blindly. So to speak, I actually got really interested in the way you did things. Why did you did things? I actually like to try to understand why did you try to change the new interface? Why you try to bring a touchscreen into a socialized system and so the like? I actually thought it was a really interesting idea, and I think that um, this in turn that approves of risky ideas can be really great.
Okay, okay, great. Well, as you know, we are an international brand, and because of our international relationships, we need our programmers to know more than one language, and also to be good at English. So I'd like to know in what percentage would you say you are fluent in English?
Yes, actually, I have a certificate in lingual skills that is a B2.
And do you know any other language?
And well, yes, of course. I actually have been learning Japanese, and I do have a certificate in Delft, which is for French, in B2.
Yes, I know the Dove. Well, that will be really helpful so you can have a good communication with other employees. And also, an important thing I was missing, what programming languages do you know?
Well, I actually program in three different languages that are C++, Java, and Python. While Python and Java aren't, I do know how to program them, but I have a preference in C++.
Well, changing of topic or interview, I would like to know more about yourself, about your own person. So, most of our employers are older than you. So, do you have any problem with that, or it's okay?
Well, I do think that they may see me a little bit bad because I'm more on the green side compared to them that have more experience. I do think, like I said before, I think that new blood can actually improve things. And even then, if they see me wrong, I will try to do my best so that they don't see me as a dead weight.
Oh, that sounds interesting. So, can you tell me more about this? What are your greatest strengths?
Well, I think that my fresh loosen on ideas and new ideas can bring something new to the table. And sometimes I find myself when something interests me, I just don't let it rest. I go over and over again. Some people may call me hard-headed.
Okay, I also like to know what do you think are your weaknesses?
Well, in the same way, my hard-headedness may also be a problem because I get so focused in one thing that I may lose sight of the other. And if something does not interest me that much, it may fall to the side.
Okay, well, I'm pleased to tell you I really like your curriculum and everything you said in the interview. So maybe I will be calling you during the week. I have your contact information already, so I will ask you to be patient. We will call you in the week.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for your time too. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Have a nice day. Good evening, Mr. Excuse me, what was your name again?
Yeah, my name is Roberto Becerra.
My pleasure, Mr. Becerra. Excuse me for that. It's just that I have a bad habit of forgetting names. My students may testify for that. Well,
Don't worry, it's okay.
okay. As you're here for the teaching job, I wanted to ask you something. Why do you want to be a teacher?
Well, I would really like to share my knowledge and taste for science to the new generations.
Mm, yes. Well, expanding on that, why do you want to teach in this high school?
Well, I was searching for recommendations for teaching, and this website recommended me your school. Also, I noticed it's really close to my house, so I'm interested in it.
Yes, I see. Well, can you send me your curriculum so I can check it, please?
Sure, I'm sending it.
Mm, I see. Well, as you said before, you seem to be very inclined to the science.
Yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
I
Any,
really,
any, oh, excuse me.
Yes, as you can see in my curriculum, I'm an engineer, so I really like physics and mathematics.
Mm, I see. Um, do you also incline to the chemistry and biology, or not so much?
No, not really. I don't really enjoy teaching them, and I'm not really good on it. So I
Mm,
prefer physics and mathematics.
yeah, I see. I'm more physics and math type of guy. Understood. Well, then, um, do you have any teaching experience before?
Yes, in the last 3 years, I have been teaching physics and mathematics in a high school.
Really? May I ask you the age range from this high school?
Sure, between 12 and 17 years.
Hmm, I see. Excuse me for the question. It's more or less because, as you saw from the, probably you saw it from the advertisement, but they off, we offering these different type of positions. The first one is a high school teacher that can also teach and be a substitute teacher in case of one of the teachers in primary school has to be absent. That's why I want to ask you, what's your experience teaching children?
Well, it wasn't really like teaching, but like 8 years ago when I was in high school, I gave a summer camp for younger kids.
I see. Did you have any problems teaching children?
No, as I told you, it was 8 years ago, and I know sometimes it's hard to keep them focused on you. And but now I have more experience, so I think I can do it very well.
Yes, understood. Yes, children can be a handful, of course. Well then, and talking to another post, I want to ask you: do you have any problems teaching at night or in the evening?
No, it's okay for me, both of them.
I see. It's more like because the second position is about teaching in the night shift, so it will be around from 7 to 10 or more like just really late in the afternoon. So I wanted to propose that position, but let's enter into this more later. Okay? Okay.
Yes, but it's not a problem for me, as I say, my house is close to the school, so it's okay for me. I don't have any problem with transportation.
Yes, I see. Well, mm, did you mention any high school, any university did you graduate from?
Yes, I studied my career at the Monterrey Tech in Mexico.
Really? How was it?
Yes, it was very cool. I really enjoy my career. Also, I took an intensive course on physics at an early age and another on approach to science at UNAM.
Mm, I see. Well, I do see that you have a bilingual skill in English. B1, is it?
Yes, well, in fact, it's B2. It's Lingua Skill for
B2?
Business. It,
Hmm, I see. And do you have any other language aside of Spanish, of course?
of course, Spanish. Well, I studied a little bit of Japanese, but I only got the B1.
I see. It may be useful. Well, then, I wanted to ask you something if you teach class. Do you have any preference in the book that you're going to teach with?
Not really, but the last year I used one called Physics at Young Age, and it was pretty cool for the students. They really like it, and I really like the book.
Yes, I see. It's more or less because there's an imposed book, and it will be to balance the two books. The Secretary of Education decides the type of book. But very well. Um, and with another thing with the classes, do you have any problem teaching class? You teaching lab?
No, in fact, it's good for me, and I really like to make some experiments in the physics class.
So you did mention that you have a courses in intensive physics, was it?
Yes, it was on physics at young ages, but I also took one for safety course in lab at the UNAM too.
Ah, yes, of course. Safety is really important with this type of thing. Mm. Well then, mm, well, you seem like a very nice time. So I would like to talk to you further about the to make a contract. But first of all, I would like you to invite you to assist to a class just to observe the stuff we have in the school, so you have an idea of the protocol and so on for.
Sure, it will be really nice to be there because I really like to know about the system you use for teaching.
Yes. Do you have any preference in the time or of day?
No, right now I'm free. It could be next week, any any day you like to.
Yes, I see. Well, next week will be nice. Will actually be rather nice. Um, did you add your phone number in the curriculum? In the curriculum?
Sure, it is at the end of the curriculum
Mm, I
in my
see.
contact information.
I see. I see. Yeah. Thank you. Well, and next time I'll have to read it out through. Okay. Well, it has been actually a rather good time to be with you. I really hope to see you again sooner time. So, and last before this, do you have any contact information to from reference to another the high school you mentioned before? Do you have the number of the director of the like to contact them?
Sure, I will send you the information, and also I will send you the book I mentioned before, so you can know it and you can maybe check it.
Hmm, I see. Well, then, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. I'm pleased to meet you.
Okay. Well, I hope to see you next week.
Sure.
Well, thanks.